There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine.
You'd be surprised at the things you find when you go looking.
God, it knows I'm here.
Clear your minds. It knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
I'm plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated, Book of the Dead.
You're gonna die up there.
I've got to return some videotapes.
Hello,
Hello,
I'm Chris,
I'm Joe.
and this is In the Veins. And today we are talking about
Void.
The Void.
It released April 7th, 2017. A wonderful homage to every John Carpenter movie, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's
I love this movie.
It's tremendous. Rewatching it again, because I think the only time I saw it before was in theater. A wonderful little indie theater around here showed it, and it really struck me. But watching it again, I was like, oh god, this is really good. Like, it's really well done. Written and directed by Jeremy Gillespie and Jeremy Kostansky, who do not have a great many credits to their name. They're mostly FX guys.
Yeah, this was their first feature-length
Yeah.
movie, I think.
Jeremy Kostansky went on to direct the wonderful indie Psycho Gorman.
Yeah.
That's about the only notable thing that I could pull out as far as directing, writing goes for these two guys. But it was actually an Indiegogo production. They funded through Indiegogo at a budget of, they ended up with somewhere north of $82,510, and then ended up grossing, now the gross is listed as $368,372, which is still a profit. But
It's a win.
It's a win, but I think that's also like a limited theatrical run, and a lot of their profit is going to come through streaming and such after the fact.
Yeah.
Because this is
Yeah.
pretty indie.
It's very indie. It's it's crowdfunded. They had some financial backing, but at least part of that fell through like the day before they were about to start principal photography and delayed them. And like some other delays occurred, which in the long run I think improved the effects. Like, it gave them more time to do things that they wanted to with the practical effect, because it's all practical. I think they used like a very small amount of visual effects, and most of that was to like make it look like there were more cult members and stuff like that. Like they would composite a lot of shots together, but and erasing stuff, or erasing
and all that jazz.
cables and things. But for the most part, this is, like you said, a John Carpenter, specifically The Thing, homage in its effect work. But
That
it's also
kind of
very it's a
80s
Lovecraft
Carpenter.
movie.
Lovecraft. You think of The Thing certainly, but also at the mountains the mouth of Madness. And, Prince of
Well, even a little bit
Prince
Event
Darkness,
Horizon.
Event Horizon. Sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, so starring Aaron Poole as Daniel Carter, Kenneth Walsh as Dr. Richard Powell, Ellen Wong as Kim, and
Knives Chow.
and Kathleen Monroe as Allison Frazier. A couple more people in there, but I'm not going to list them all. That's enough. It's
Who is
mostly
that?
Aaron Poole.
Who's the little the druggy dude?
The junkie.
The junkie. The one that he gets arrested and brought to the.
I don't have that in front of me right off the top of my head. Let me.
I can't think. I hate this. I can't think of his name, but he's. I already knew him from Letterkenny.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the skids in Letterkenny.
Evan Stern.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Evan Stern. Yeah, he's James is the character's name. It's funny actually. They list two of the characters as the father and the son. My notes, I dug in the notes that they named them, in the notes that I dug up, they named them, Vincent and Simon. I don't know where they got those names from.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's, like we said, it's a damn fine movie. It's, the cast, small, but, serviceable. It certainly does the job. I'm sure that the script was written to keep the cast small.
They specifically, they wanted to make a feature-length movie. They'd made, I think, some shorts and stuff and done FX and things, but they wanted to. I think they learned a lot in watch. There's a documentary. It's on YouTube, like a half-hour documentary of the making of.
Cool.
And they talk about how you think single location, they're shooting everything. in that one place mostly.
Right.
Pretty much everything was in the hospital, which was actually a school.
Oh, okay.
And it was their production office, and it was their creature shop. Like it was their studio. They just inhabited the school and did everything in there.
Yeah.
But it was still wildly complicated, and there were all of these effects they had to pull off, and all of these shots they had to get, and all of this stuff, and their timeline was crunched because the financiers backing out and stuff like that. So it was apparently a lot of fun, but kind of an Evil Dead type situation where it was a real, like, we're sleeping here, we're working till till the sun comes up, and it's a grueling, painful thing, but everybody's having fun.
Yeah, I mean, and they pulled it off. It's for that's just stuff falling. But it's for a film this deep with this deep of indie roots. It's very slick. The production doesn't show any seams or signs of financial woes. Really, it's very well done. Let's get into it though. Let's get into
let's do it.
The weirdness of the void. So we have a cold open at the right at the top. To a door with the black triangle symbol painted onto it. This black triangle symbol is going to become a very recognizable motif throughout it, which is fun.
And it's so good and so simple.
So simple. It works so well. It's just an equilateral black triangle.
Yeah. No fancy squiggles.
Yeah. No attachments to anything else. But it's I mean, not to jump ahead entirely, but like the when they show the cultists, they have these just plain white robes on with just that black triangle symbol kind of right at the face
centered
level.
on the face, yeah.
And it's like, that doesn't even seem like easy to see out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's very, it gives this inhuman quality to it. It's very very Lovecraftian, very cosmic horror. So it's a farmhouse at night, and two people run out from the farmhouse, a man and a woman. And they're pursued by two men, an older and a younger one, who will be our father and son eventually. The woman, she comes out second, and she gets shot and hits the ground. And while she's there pleading for her life, the older one, it's a pretty intense little scene. The older one just starts dousing her in gasoline and makes the son, light her up.
Yeah.
To burn alive. And then we get a little shot of...
No. He gives the son the gas.
Oh.
And makes him douse her while he lights a cigarette.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had that backwards. Yes.
And then he flicks it, and that's what lights her. Because that's how you do that.
That's how you do that.
In fact, if you don't have a cigarette, you can't light anyone on fire.
It's true. It's a safety feature they put into lighters in 1974. Very few people know that. That's not true at all. From the edge of the woods, cultist watches, as we said, their white robe with the black triangle over their face. They watch the flames dance, and the cultist. It's great because it's totally impassive. There's no indication of any kind of emotion.
Oh yeah, they're blank slates.
Yeah, it's great. Then we get the opening credits where we get shots. These kind of shots of starts out with just the woods at night, and it's shot in such a way that it's tremendously dark and feels very kind of alien, and I like it a lot. It's like it gives you this feeling of there's something lurking out there, something sinister. Eventually moving on to some like kind of abandoned man-made structures and whatnot. Very liminal space kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's great as far as setting a tone, I think. And then we come to, as we finish up the credits, we come to the cop, Daniel Carter, who is plainly sleeping in his car when over the radio they check up on him. And he's chatting a little bit with the radio and stuff. And just as he's about to kind of drive away, he sees that one survivor from the house kind of crawl out of the tree line and assumes at first that it's just like a drunk teenager or something. And then when he approaches him, he sees he's covered in blood.
Yeah.
And that's when he kind of like, we cut to him like driving and like asking, what's the closest hospital to me and stuff. And they tell him to the hospital to go to, and he doesn't want to go to that hospital. And they're like, well, the next one's like a further 20 minutes out, so it's your choice. So he goes to the hospital, and the reason he doesn't want to go to that hospital, it seems to me, it's not necessarily the extra 20 minutes or whatever, but it's his ex-wife.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely...
is
Yeah,
Allison.
his estranged
is working.
wife, at
Estranged.
least.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to avoid the awkward.
Yes. So the hospital isn't in the greatest shape. Apparently, they had a catastrophic fire and are in the process of shutting it down. So there's very few
all that's
people.
open is the emergency room.
Yeah. So then we get to the hospital,
Which is a great, like, filmmaking wise, it's a great setup. Like, a lot of movies have to make an excuse for why a thing is the way it is.
right?
And they don't make a big thing out of it. They're like, since the fire, but the emergency room's still showing open.
Right, and it's
Just in passing. And in reality, they don't have the people or the facilities to make a full working
Yeah.
hospital. You know,
a convincing
Like,
full working hospital. One of the things I watched it with my wife Melinda, and one of the things she was asked was like just offhand, like, what state are they supposed to be in? Even, and it's really not clear. I
No.
think it's vaguely implied Midwest.
it
because-
feels it's shot in Canada.
Okay, so it feels. It's rural certainly because
Yeah.
there is a distance between hospitals and there's nobody kind of around for miles and miles.
Yeah, they shot it near Toronto. Toronto's
Okay.
where they did all the pre-production, and then that school that they used as the production studio was shit. I can't remember the name of the town, but it was
Something
adjacent.
Canadian. Something
Yeah.
Canadian.
Which is why Knives Chow is in this movie.
Yeah. We I think when we come to the hospital, do we get her Nurse Knives?
She's one of the first ones. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
reading the medical book to the patient,
patient Cliff. She's
trying to show him a picture of a degloving.
nurse intern Kim, and Cliff is really just trying to watch TV, and Kim is really trying to just annoy Cliff, and he tells her to leave so she can sleep, so she takes off, and I think she steals his Jello along the way because she's a selfish child. And so at the hospital, Dr. Richard Powell and Nurse Beverly they take in the junkie, as he comes to be called, right at the top, to go and try and treat him and stuff, and then which gives Daniel a chance to say hello to the pregnant teen Maggie and her grandfather Ben, who are there because Maggie has been having pains. She needs a checkup. She's very pregnant. And they Dr. Powell.
It's also it's another good sort of thing where, like, you just understand that this pregnant teenage girl's main caregiver is her grandpa.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of kind
Like,
of instant
It
backstory
just tells you,
that you get. It's,
yeah,
it's,
through their interactions
Right.
instead of just flat out,
Yeah, it's decent exposition because it's show not tell, and there's a lot of kind of shorthand type of stuff like that where it's like, okay, she's a teenager, she doesn't have anybody else.
Yeah.
That's her grandfather. That's cool. They're there
nothing
late at night.
extraneous. I don't need to know where his wife is, where the baby daddy is.
Nothing.
Well, not
Nothing.
yet, but
Not important.
yeah.
Dr. Daniel has. They mention that there are track marks on the junkie, so that's how they know he's a junkie. And Daniel's like, "Oh, he bled all over me," and tries to go and get some of the filthy junkie blood off of him. And we get a little bit of stuff. Kim, the intern, is pissy as she boxes up files, which she doesn't want to do.
Yeah, well, they set that, like, she says to the guy she's reading the book to that they don't let her do anything around here.
Right.
And then later on, she's going to be asked to do something pretty significant.
Yeah, and she's absolutely...
With zero help.
Yeah, she's absolutely not up to the challenge.
And she will be referencing that same book in that scene.
It's great. It's great. We get a lot of these are little character moments and everything that tell us everything we need to know, and it just works really well. It moves pretty quickly, which is good for this type of scene. We get a little scene of Daniel and his estranged wife Allison. She brings him some coffee, and they don't have a bad relationship. They're okay. But he clearly wants to not be estranged anymore, and she's not quite there. And then Dr. Powell shows up and gives Allison a chance to run away, kind of. And Powell tells him to go easy on her because, she lost a child, and that's difficult. We don't get too much information on that. I think eventually the most we get is maybe it was a miscarriage or something, it seems like.
It does turn out later, I think, that it was a miscarriage.
Right, and
But this is also where they, without forcing the exposition, slide in that the doctor lost a kid too.
Yes, he lost his daughter Sarah, so he
Yeah.
relates, which will become important later. And then things start getting weird. Right off the bat, we get some weirdness. It's great. Daniel, kind of wandering the hospital, happens to wander past Cliff's hospital room and sees Beverly in there, Nurse Beverly, doing something sinister. And when he gets closer, he finds out she's stabbing Cliff in the eyes.
Yeah, and this, like you said, it moves fast, but it goes like for now, it's just fucking flying.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Like we've gotten everything that you need to get. Like let's.
Yeah, we set it up.
like
Let's
this
start
thing on
stabbing
fire.
people in the face.
Yes. And then she turns around and most of her face is gone.
Yeah.
She's been stripping skin off her face, and she's like, "This isn't my face. This isn't my real
Not
face.
anymore,
I got another face under this one. Don't worry about it. I'll get your face off too. It's cool." And she comes at him with the scissors, and he's forced to shoot her in the head and kill her. And the sounds of the shooting kind of bring everybody, Allison, Kim, Dr. Powell, and Daniel reacts very badly. I mean,
he does. Yeah.
he reacts very badly to the mutilated woman that he shot in the face. He goes to the bathroom and he's like throwing up, and he kind of passes out, but he gets visions of something. It's this dark thing. Like,
Yeah.
A lot of rapid shots, like a sky boiling with clouds. I pulled a lot of descriptions of the synopsis off of IMDb, and they had a great phrase: an evil nebula.
Yes.
I think that's tremendous.
Yes.
Pulsating flesh, a desolate landscape, like harsh, weird, alien-looking landscape, and something in a black triangular thing beyond the clouds.
Yeah, you just sort of get the shadow through the clouds.
Yeah. And then he kind of wakes up with Allison and Dr. Powell kind of attending to him and stuff.
Yeah, I sort of took from that he's a cop in a sleepy town. You know, he's never done anything except
sure.
wrangle drunks,
Well,
and now he went from 0 to lady
Shooting a
cut her
woman
face
in the
off,
head.
and I killed her, and it's a lady he knows. Like he knows all the people
Right.
here.
Oh, I'm sure that's
Like-
a contributing factor, but it's also a sort of thing where they're like, because Dr. Powell's like, it seems like you had a seizure, not so much that he passed out, but that
Yeah.
something affected him, and so I think it's a sort of we're supposed to take a little bit of that kind of thing of something just reached out and touched him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah. He was affected
Very much so part of it. Yes.
supernaturally by the situation, but he was also puking because he just had to kill an acquaintance.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he just saw a person with her face ripped off, stabbing him
That
in
was
the eyes. So
Traumatic.
That's a lot. And then they reveal that since he's been out, that State Trooper Mitchell has shown up and has totally gotten control of the situation because he's
Sure, yes.
an asshole.
He is a dick, isn't he?
He is a little bit. In fact, let me just see if I know this guy from anything.
Well, and he makes that shitty comment about like what would your dad think of this situation? Like,
Yeah, he's kind of like he's been in a couple things, but he's kind of like your dad would have handled this better than you did. He would have had control over the situation. It's like you don't even know the situation you're
No.
walking into, dude. Like a totally normal nurse just murdered a guy in
And
his
came at me.
face, and then ripped her own face off, and then came at me. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like, no part of this, and I had to shoot her because she was coming at me. Like, he takes his gun and stuff like this, and it's.
but it, like what I realistically, state troopers understand better than anybody that in a situation like that, you've just got to do what you got to do because, like, I've done law enforcement in the military,
Sure.
but I've interacted with a lot of cops and stuff and been to different training with civilians and military, and the state troopers specifically train to deal with things in like the first 3 seconds like that because they're alone.
Well, I mean,
They're
yeah,
out on the
you
side of
have
a
to.
highway with God knows who.
You have to. You don't know what's
And-
going on around the corner.
And so if anybody was going to understand and praise his ability to draw down and deal with that lady,
Like-
it should have been the state trooper.
And he knows
should have had his back.
He knows him. He knows his dad.
Yeah.
He's being a dick.
And his dad would be telling him, yeah, you had to. She came at you with a knife.
But I do think there might be a sort of a thing to it where also that, like, everybody's emotions are heightened in general. And I don't know
Yeah.
if maybe, like, is there a supernatural thing pushing people psychologically towards the edge?
Oh, well, maybe, yeah.
You know, like, or is this just the way things go in the reality of this film? Everybody's kind of ready.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, when we talked about Event Horizon, you know, the DJ Trauma reacted by pulling a scalpel out, putting it to somebody's throat, and then realized he'd overreacted because he was affected by the
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
By what was going on.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, and like a lot of that's kept ambiguous, and I guess it's not really important. It's just the fact that, like, okay, that's what the situation we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
I think Mitchell's just kind of a jerk.
I think he is too.
Well, and it's also a thing of, like, he's investigating a mass murder, and he's pursuing essentially the junkie because he knew he was coming to that hospital. So he's kind of like, oh well, I have a much more important thing going on than this your little nurse problem.
I thought he was commenting on him killing the woman, that he should have handled that better.
Right. I don't know. So, yeah, it does seem like he's just not into it, and he's just like, whatever, you have a guy died, a person was killing him, you shot that person, what's the problem?
It doesn't matter, he'll be dead soon.
Definitely has not seen Beverly's ripped up face.
No.
And then it turns out that the guy that Daniel brought in, most of the blood that was on him was not his own, he wasn't that injured. Mm-hmm. The trooper is a dick. I wrote that down. So Daniel still wants to call the situation in because that's all he's been trying to do this entire time is call the situation in, it feels like. But the phone or the radio from the hospital, all he gets is static. So he has to try to go out to his car, goes out to his car, and there's just no one on the radio.
Yeah.
And then he sees one of the cultists and tries to talk to him. And then he hears kind of like a loud boom and a foghorn sound. And then the exterior lights in the hospital just turn off. And the cultist comes at him and stabs him with a knife. A small stab in the chest. And then there are more...
Just a light stabbing.
Just a little stabbing. And
just a movie stabbing, upper to the side.
Yeah,
where
in the shoulder, where it doesn't even count.
It's not going to affect your function.
You can just want to do stuff really badly, and it heals instantly.
Mm-hmm.
It only hurts when I move. Then he sees more cultists coming at him, and there's another kind of foghorn in the air and stuff. And he runs back inside and locks the doors and stuff. And the cultists don't really try to get in.
No.
Because they know. They're just sort of trying to keep people from getting out. So he goes to everybody to try to help him. And that's when Monster Beverly kind of shows up.
Yeah.
She's in full...
Boy, and she turned fast.
She turned fast, and she's like tentacles exploding out of her mouth. The trooper has handcuffed the junkie to a bed. And is that what this happens? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And Beverly is trying to attack him. Beverly Monster, which she's a gigantic monster. She's just all tentacles, flapping around and everything. And he has a brief moment where he gets some more visions once he sees the monster, which indicates, again, that it's this dark energy kind of invading his mind. And that's when he sees in that vision... He's seen somebody under a white sheet on a table, like an operating table, and then a figure standing before a glowing white triangle. And then they kind of go and they save the junkie's being attacked by Beverly, and they end up saving the junkie. Daniel, they had like the hospital bed's overturned, and he kicks the rail to break it so that the junkie's handcuffs can slide off. It takes him so long, I feel like he could have just unlocked the handcuffs.
Yeah, at that point he probably could have.
I feel like the amount of times he has to kick that thing to break it, he could have just unlocked the handcuffs and we could have all been done at that point. But they just sort of like lock the door behind them and lock the Beverly monster inside.
They try to. She's kind of a jangly mass of flesh. Like she's not, built for action.
Yes. Yeah, she's just sort of a shuffling mass.
Yeah.
The exact structure of her body is not real well defined.
No, but it looks good. Like
it looks
the way
cool. I'm not saying like in a bad way at all. It's very interesting, and it's just intimidating as all hell.
Well, and it's very much the thing.
Very much
it's
so,
very much
yeah. An explosion of flesh.
masses of
Yeah.
like twisted, melted flesh.
Yes. So Daniel grabs a fire axe, and everybody's kind of freaked out because now the hospital's surrounded by cultists, and a monster just tried to eat a man. And that's when the two the other bad guys, the father and son, show up and start demanding the junkie. And as Daniel and Mitchell try to get hold of the situation. Daniel's dad would have had this under control already.
Yeah, he would have done this a lot better.
The junkie grabs a scalpel and immediately takes the pregnant teenager Maggie hostage.
Hey, she was closest.
I mean, that's what you do. And so you've got all this sort of stuff going on at the same time. Beverly's breaking down the door. The father has his gun bearing down on the whole situation. Mitchell's over there, making negative comments about Daniel. So Dr. Powell tries to sneak up on the junkie and gets a knife in the neck for his troubles. He goes down, and suddenly then the Grandpa Ben just shows up and just clocks the junkie. I don't know what he was waiting for.
Waiting for the doc to die, I guess.
So. He knocks the junkie out, and then the Beverly Monster shows up and just grabs Mitchell and drags him away. So Daniel gives chase with his fire axe.
You know what? Daniel's dad would not have got dragged by the Beverly Monster.
You know what? He wouldn't have.
No.
This is going to be the worst running gag ever. So he chases after with the fire axe, and he finds the creature in like a hallway, and it's shoving its tentacles into his mouth and into his eyes. It's just murdering the crap out of him and doing weird tentacle monster shit.
In the wormiest way possible.
Wormiest fucking way possible. And then the two, the father and son show up. Like a brain-like protrusion kind of grows out of the top of the creature's head, and the father shoots it, and it seems to have a good effect on things. And then the son kind of goes up with a fire axe and chops away at it. Between the two of them, they end up kind of taking it down, chopping it apart, shooting it, whatnot.
Yeah, they just have an axe party.
Right, and then they chop off Mitchell's head, because you can't trust anybody. People are infected with this thing, and then they just go nuts. They go full tentacle monster in like 10 minutes. It's crazy.
You couldn't let him become a part of that tentacle monster.
Yeah, and so now it is. I put in here. It's like a fight / get to know ya. So then they're like, okay, what do we do now? Because this is nuts. They and they can't trust that Beverly is dead because they don't understand how she was alive. So they load her remains up on a gurney, light it on fire, and push it out the door.
Yeah.
Just
this is honestly,
you guys
I think
deal with that.
This was like the weakest effect for me. Because whatever is burning on that stretcher clearly weighs about 17 ounces.
Yeah.
When it hits and tips over.
Yeah.
It is not the mass that was in that whole tentacle fucking that dude's face.
Yeah. No. It's like, that was like 2 people's worth of flesh. And less than 1 person was on that gurney.
Yeah.
But,
I knew what they meant. I forgive it.
I get it. It's cool. It's fine, I suppose.
I love the idea. Like,
I do love the
fuck
idea.
this, we're gonna burn it and send it out of the building.
We're covering our track, we're covering all bases. Who knows? So then Maggie starts having baby pains, and Allison wants to go get Maggie baby medicine for her baby pains. And Daniel's like, okay. He tries to negotiate with the father and son, and they're like, nobody's going anywhere until we get what we want, which is ill-defined at this point. I think it's the junkie. And they seem to say.
Really, their only power is that they're meaner. Like,
they have a gun.
Do they even have a gun at that point?
They have the rifle, I think, and they're the only
But I thought
ones.
he used up all of his rounds on Beverly.
Oh, you might have done. I don't know. But they are, you're right, they are the meanest people there. And so they're kind of appealing to them, and he's like, Daniel's like, listen, I will go with you to go get the medicine. Just wait for me here. I need to go, he's like, hey, I got a shotgun in my car. We can go get my shotgun from my car. It's parked right outside, and then we can come back in, and we can get the baby medicine, and then we'll have the baby medicine. Won't that be great, everybody? And he seemed to say. And while they're gone, they're like, the father and son agree to this shotgun obtaining plan. It's just because they want a shotgun. And
that's the thing. It's like, but we get the gun. Like well, whatever.
Okay, buddy. Calm down. And then, like, Allison leaves immediately after they're gone. Like, immediately.
Yeah, she doesn't wait a second.
Doesn't even care. She's just like, you know what, Kim, you got this. I'm gone. And dips. And vanishes further into the hospital to go find the baby medicine. So we follow Daniel, the father and son, out to Daniel's car to get the shotgun. And the gun is further away. Or the car is further away than it was. It's pushed way the fuck out. So by the time they get outside, they're like, we got to go for it. So they make a mad dash to the car, and the father is kind of on lookout. Daniel is trying to unlock the shotgun from the front seat, and the son is in the back grabbing ammo and flares and such.
Was it explained why he doesn't just, like, start the car and drive it back over to the building?
Well, he's got people in there to... You know what? I don't know. That's a good point.
Like, they didn't make it clear whether or not the car even worked still.
Like,
but
we could just drive around the building in circles while we get the shotgun out, run over some cultists, do whatever we want,
yeah,
you know?
hop in, lock the door, drive around, get the, pull back up to the door, get some people in it. Like,
right.
One person just drive away. Just go get help.
They just weren't thinking about it, I guess.
I
don't know. Whatever.
I just wondered if maybe I missed something. Like,
No.
if they explained why that wouldn't work.
Well, I think part of the problem is that the father and son are very... the son is mute.
Yeah.
The father is insistent that nobody is leaving. We're not leaving.
Well, sure, but fuck him. I'm in the driver's seat with a shotgun.
Right.
Like,
I don't understand the problem. But, so anyway...
Or maybe it's that the cultists, they don't think that they'll make it out.
No, I
think the cultists are keeping them in.
I think that's part of it. I think the part of it is, though, that the father is just like, nobody is leaving. Everybody has to stay here. This has to be contained. And he's willing to, like, sacrifice himself to the point of doing that. So nobody's really, like, fighting him on that. They were more like, okay, let's get a weapon so we can go and get the baby medicine. Let's deal with one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So the cultists show up and they start attacking them and stuff, and Daniel ends up saving Vincent by getting the gun out at the last second and shooting a guy. And as they're running back in, he's like, "I'm keeping this shotgun."
Because of course he is.
Because of course he is. He got it, dude. He just risked his life.
It's his, too. Totally his shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, we've got Maggie comforting, Kim comforting... Maggie comforting people. We're all comforting people. Everybody's trying to make people feel better. Your baby's going to be fine. It's great. Everything's wonderful.
Knives Chow is on the job.
She's on the job, when they get back inside, however, Allison left without any backup, it turns out. And then we cut to her getting the medicine and stuff. She knows exactly where to go because she goes into this room and it's one thing that just bothered me. She gets a bag, she goes to the shelf, and she just she picks something up, checks the label, puts it in the bag. Picks something up, checks the label, puts it in the bag. Like, she's not picking things up and be like, no, not that one, I need this one. She's just like, why are you reading the labels? You clearly know what you're looking for. You already know exactly where everything is. What are you doing? And also, why, like, if you're doing that, like, arm sweep into the bag.
Just
let's
take
go.
it all.
It's clear you need everything on that shelf. And then we see somebody behind her. When they get back inside, Daniel notices that Pal's body is missing, which is fun. They're like, well, how the heck did that happen? And so they go pursuing after Allison, Daniel and the father and son, they go pursuing after her. And they find the room that she was in, and they find her bag with the medicines, but no Allison. But as they go, I think, Daniel grabs Mitchell's gun, which was laying on the floor.
Yeah, because it's gooey.
It's gooey. It's filled with the goo. And then they hear a phone ringing, and they follow the sound of the phone ringing to Pal's office.
Yes.
And Daniel picks up the phone, and it's Powell on the other end of the line, who was supposed to be dead.
I gotta say, he's got the best voice for this character. Like, he's got the cool, like, there's...
gravelly and...
Oh, just the gravitas.
Yeah, and
like,
I mean, he goes both ways in this. He swings both ways, where he's, like, comforting grandfatherly type, and then, like, creepy fucking monster dude. By the end
apocalyptic doomsayer.
Right,
like...
I really noticed it, like, not to jump all the way to the end, but at the very end, and he's fully monstrified and skinned and everything, and it's like, that's a lot of makeup on that guy, and he looks cool. And he's pulling it off. So kudos to him. While he's talking on the phone to Pal, who's talking to him about life and death and all this jazz. The father finds a box of Polaroids of, cultists, naked people, dead bodies, a notebook with various occult symbols on them.
Triangles.
I swear to God, I wrote in my notes, quote unquote, Yon Sao. I don't know what that means. I have no idea where that came from. What the fuck?
Yon
Sao? I don't know. Maybe it made sense at the time. This is why this is why I need to type notes, because I am it's like a fever dream while I'm watching a thing. I'm just writing stuff down. I'm not even looking. It's completely automatic. There are arrows all over this thing. I don't know what they mean or signify. So they go back to Maggie and Kim and the junkie in particular, and Daniel kind of lets the father and son threaten to torture the junkie with a hammer. He gives Vincent's gun to Ben to kind of protect Maggie and everything, and the junkie is adamant that he doesn't know anything about what was going on in the house. He was just looking for crystal meth. And they told him he could find crystal meth at this house. He went to this house. They made them have sex with each other while they watched, and they did rituals and started sacrificing people and did experiments on people and made people change in mysterious ways.
He saw some shit, man.
He saw some shit, and he would really like some crystal meth now. And he only survived because essentially the father and son showed up and started killing people. So they decide that they're going to go to the morgue, but the morgue is in the burned out part of the hospital, because that's where the call was coming from. Al's office was.
It's in the basement in the burned out part.
Right. So they leave Kim in charge of everything, and they're like, "Here's a radio. You know the way around the hospital. Talk us to there." And they're taking the junkie with them because he's a creepy dude. Yeah, they don't need him gumming up the works. So they get on the radio, and they're going through this burnout part of the hospital, and right away it's like, okay, we went down to the end of the corridor, we went down the stairs, but then there's another set of stairs, and Kim's like, there's no second set of stairs, there's no sub.
Yeah. So
this is interesting because, okay, is it A, that there's a secret sub-basement that Kim didn't know about, that was Pal's center of whatever, or B, is it a supernatural location where...
It's supernatural.
It has to be supernatural, right?
Because it closes up later.
That's what I was thinking, too. I was it's left kind of ephemeral and stuff, and, it's perfectly fine if Pal had a secret wing of the hospital. He's old, I'm sure he was there whenever, at whatever time. But at the very end, when the son gets away, and he kind of finds himself just at the entrance with no indication of where he came from, it makes it pretty clear that that's a supernatural space.
Yeah. Something new has expanded in the structure.
It's four-dimensional
because of what the doctor's been doing.
Right.
Yeah, funny hospital sub-basement story.
Yes.
You know Allegheny General?
I know Allegheny
on the
General.
north side. I worked there.
I do know that.
Supposedly, and I believe this, there's a animal testing it's 20 years ago, 25 years ago. But at the time that I worked there, they said there was an animal testing facility in a sub-basement. And I'd been in the basement, all the x-ray stuff was down there.
Yeah.
I could never find the sub-basements, and I explored. But they said there was a sub-basement with an animal testing facility, and every Thursday, around lunchtime, the whole second floor smelled like burnt dead animal and hair. Because that was when the scheduled incineration of the dead test subjects happened.
I mean, I can believe it. A lot of those structures and stuff in it's Pittsburgh. There's a lot of old construction on top of new construction on top of old construction. Yeah,
that hospital's a maze. I mean, there's the old building and then the new wings.
Every hospital in Pittsburgh is like
that. But the second floor is where the cafeteria was, and it smelled the strongest right in the hall outside of the cafeteria.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It's meatloaf day at the cafeteria.
Meatloaf and burnt monkeys and rats.
Ooh, I got a beak in mind. Yum, yum, yum. God almighty. Pittsburgh's full of that kind of crazy, those kinds of crazy legends about sub-basements and stuff. Anyway, I could tell you stories. Anywho, okay, so they're in this sub-basement. They're wandering around from room to room trying to find Pal and thus Allison, and failing mostly. So they're in a part of the hospital that shouldn't be there. They start to lose radio contact with Kim. That kind of comes and goes. Again, my own handwriting fails me, and I have no idea what my notes say there. Okay, we cut to Allison waking up on an operating table. She's kind of strapped down or whatever, and Powell is talking to her, and while he washes bloody surgical tools in a sink, and he's picking away at his own flesh, talking about how it doesn't hurt. It's like liberating to be free of the flesh. It's a very cool, very creepy scene, and he's explaining about how after his daughter died, he wanted a way to bring her back, and he started looking, and he found stuff. And essentially, he's talking about how he's transcending death to become something greater, and he will bring his daughter back. And he's been doing experiments down there for years, and the fire that destroyed half the hospital was actually one of his experiments trying to die. Because a lot of these experiments are just like, these things want to die, but I won't let them. He's going to give her the thing that she always wanted. He's going to make her a mom, and he kind of reveals her stomach, and there's something horrible moving around inside of her. Oh yeah,
it's huge and pulsating.
And then we cut back to Daniel and co. They find a room full of mutilated corpses, and the father starts having visions of his dead wife and baby. And he starts to kind of lose touch with reality. And the corpses start...
Yeah, he kind of wanders off into his vision.
Yeah, and the son kind of pursues after him. And the corpses start coming to life and coming after them. And so...
Oh, and they're great too. The one that just keeps slamming its head into the spike on the wall.
Yeah, and the pipe it's like a spiked pipe or fragmented pipe that's like fully through its head. And
his whole head is just a
hole through it,
gouged out hole. Yeah,
and so we get split up. Daniel has the junkie with him, and the junkie tries to kind of turn on him at the last minute, and then a creature shows up and grabs the junkie and kind of just pulls him away into the darkness, and Daniel's kind of left on his own.
I love how dispensable the junkie is throughout the thing. I mean, nobody gives a shit about this guy at any point. He's
just there to have another fodder.
In fact, when they find the supernatural sub-basement, they're like, yeah, you're going first. Yeah. They basically hold him out in front of them like a shield to go down the stairs to the fucking place.
Ethics have gone right out the window. His dad wouldn't have done that. Maggie starts to... so we cut to Maggie and Kim and Ben. And Maggie starts to have some severe pains, and Kim realizes essentially she's going to have to do a C-section. And we have this whole thing of Ben trying to talk her up, like, you can do this, you're going to do this, and Kim is just failing to do it, and absolutely can't. And they have this whole back and forth where he's trying to, whatever, and then it's ended when Maggie slits Ben's throat.
Yeah,
slits her own grandfather's throat, and it's, oh, by the way, she's a cultist, and Powell is the father of her child.
Yeah,
she's totally in all this, and none of this is by accident.
What a twist!
What a twist! And the cultists kind of come into the hospital, and they kind of menace Kim a little, but they kind of don't care about her. They leave her to kind of just hide in
but they
closet.
Can't see through their hoods well enough to do anything about it.
She's very short. And that the bottom line of the triangle kind of cuts off halfway through your vision. Yep. So if she's right in front, it's like a hammerhead shark. If she's directly in front of them, they can't see.
She just moves with them.
Cultist's vision is based on movement. So if you stay perfectly still... everyone knows that. Everyone knows. Daniel's dad would have known.
Daniel's dad might have been one of the cultists.
He might have been. Well, so the reality finally starts to really break down hardcore. Simon, or the son, follows Vincent, or follows his father down these nasty burnout corridors and everything, and it turns into their home. A very surreal moment where it's like the sun is shining, and he finds his dad brooding over the dead body of his wife and child, and he immediately turns on his son, blaming him for I wasn't there, you should have protected them, that kind of thing. And then they kind of scream in each other's faces or whatever, and then the illusion kind of crumbles and disappears, and the father kind of collects himself and everything. And then Daniel goes and finally finds the operating room with Allison in it. He goes in and he finds Allison on the table, and he's telling her he's going to save her, and he kisses her hand and everything. And then you hear just Pal's voice, and he's like, I've given her what she always wanted. And her hand turns into like crumbling ash. Yeah. And the reality sets in, the illusion breaks, and her whole body is just an explosion of tentacles.
Yeah, it's like stuck to the ceiling and walls. Like
it's just like spider web of tentacles and everything. It's crazy. And Daniel, in his grief, takes his axe and chops Allison to pieces, because that's what you do. You gotta chop the body up. Evil Dead taught us well. So then Daniel makes his way, or no, he just sort of finds himself in a large room. And this room, it's cool. There's a triangle on the wall that's just sort of delineated by like glowing white light, but it's just the outline is glowing white of the triangle. Yeah. And there's these gurneys.
It's a great set.
It's a great set. It's very simple. It's all black. There's like a raised dais in front of the triangle on the wall. There's these gurneys, like 3 or 4 gurneys lining the walls at an angle, with bodies on them covered in sheets.
But there's also those like the pillar things.
Yes.
Like it's
very
it's just, and it's minimalist.
It's minimalist, it's but it feels monumental, and it feels alien and strange.
Yeah, if they turn the lights on there in the gym of the high school they were shooting in,
right? Right.
But the design is really well executed.
Right, and Powell is talking about his experiments and his knowledge of life and death. And he walks in and he's fully transformed, like we said, into like a skinless undead monster.
Yeah. He has ascended.
And he says like, "Oh, I can bring your child back. You just have to die for that to happen." And then Maggie sneaks up behind Daniel and stabs him in the back, literally. Yes. It's great. And so Daniel collapses, and Powell he says like, "Oh, I'm gonna finally bring my daughter back. You're gonna see." And Maggie kneels down, and he kneels down in front of the triangle and raises his arms and starts doing some kind of dark, inhuman incantation. And then the triangle turns all white light in some kind of weird alien portal.
The gateway is open.
The gateway is open, and Daniel gets some brief visions like we saw before. The pulsating flesh, the clouds, the evil nebula. You've seen it. Daniel's dad has seen it, for Christ's sake. It's not a big deal. And then Maggie screams because she has a monster growing inside her, because Powell is the father. And she dies horribly as the monster emerges. And
Maggie has like the best psycho worshiper face. Like when she turns.
Oh yeah, her smile is creepy as shit.
Like her creepy fucking
Her grin, it's like all upper teeth and.
Oh,
yeah. It's a lot.
I feel like they asked her for that face in the audition,
and they were like, "Oh, okay."
And then they didn't sleep for 3 days and had to hire her.
Yeah, no, she's tremendous.
Yeah.
So then, the creature emerges, and it's kind of the same creature as Beverly was. It's of the same ilk, it seems like. It's kind of the same shuffling mass with like upper half of a face, and the bottom half's all tentacles.
Yeah, it's like a heavy built, sort of
shuffling
on all fours.
And then the father and son show up, and they see the creature and everything that's going on, and they run, and the creature pursues them. And the creature catches up to them, and it grabs Vincent, the father. I don't know where they got the name Vincent from, because it's nowhere else. It grabs the father, and he grabs some kind of, like, I don't know if it's lighter fluid or alcohol, because it's a hospital. He grabs some kind of flammable liquid.
I thought it was alcohol, because he grabbed it, like, when they were in the room and they found... I think he grabbed it in the supply room when they were looking
that's a while
earlier.
Back. Yeah.
Because they showed him grabbing it as they went.
I was probably scribbling some kind of horrible...
Yeah, Yan Sao.
Yan Sao's at the time, drawing arrows back and forth.
Joe.
Whoops.
Daniel's dad wouldn't have missed that.
Daniel's dad. Oh my God. Daniel's dad. So he douses himself and the creature kind of in this fluid, and tells his son, "You know what to do." And so his son lights them both on fire as the thing is killing his father. And then he runs. He escapes via a vent in the wall.
Yeah.
And then ends up in another corridor, and the creature just keeps pursuing him. Like, there is no stopping this thing. But we cut back to Daniel crawling up to Powell, and he gets his axe and hits, stabs the axe into Powell's, his shoulder. And Powell is, totally unaffected by this. Like, he's already gone beyond death and whatnot. Like, this is no big deal.
He just skinned himself. Pain isn't really a thing anymore.
Your little axe is cute, but your dad could have hurt me. And he's telling him, like, hey, you could be with Allison again. Wouldn't that be great if you just died right now? Maybe you could die right now, huh?
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. And Daniel ends up grabbing Powell and launching them both through the portal.
Yeah.
Which closes it. And this is the self-destruct sequence.
Yeah. This is when
everything.
The extra space starts collapsing.
Yeah, so the creature is pursuing the sun down this corridor, and the walls start closing in on them. Mm-hmm. And he kind of gets away at the last minute. The creature ends up crushed in the walls. And it is a really cool effect. He's going down this kind of dingy corridor. Like, things get progressively slightly better. He's no longer in a burnt corridor. Now it's just a beat-up, dingy corridor. And then when he emerges back in the clean kind of waiting room area. But he emerges at a T intersection, and there's no doorway or any spot on the wall where he could have emerged from. The walls close in on each other.
And the monster is crushed.
The monster is gone and crushed, and everything is fine. And everything's fine. And then so and then he finds Kim. There are apparently no more cultists. They all just fucked off or something. I don't know. They died with... there is a kind of indication, I think, when the creature emerges from Maggie and she collapses, the cultists collapse too, I believe. And so,
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, there's like an indication that he's like absorbing their life force almost to kind of open this portal. That's how I read it, at least. But I assume that, like, all of their lives were sacrificed for this.
Well, but their bodies aren't laying around either.
No, and it's just sort of like, I think at the time he sees, like, Daniel sees just, like, empty robes or something, like, weird like that. But it's also, like, this whole thing that he's promised them that they're going to die and be resurrected in glorious new forms. Like, creatures with a bunch of tentacles. And monsters with a bunch of tentacles.
Because why wouldn't you want that for yourself?
And lovely birds with a bunch of tentacles.
Who can't actually fly.
But they have tentacles that they can fly.
But they do have those tentacles, though.
And also, you could become back as an octopus. It doesn't have any tentacles.
It's just a ball. It's just a squishy ball.
You know, it has eyes.
It has eyes and a little beak.
Tiny little beak. It got it from Wednesday's meatloaf. So Kim and the son escape as the dawn kind of rises on the new day. They stumble out into the daylight, and they made it out safe. Thank God, those crazy kids. That girl who has devoted her life to a job that she definitely can't do, and that mute boy.
She is not a good nurse.
Yeah, and a mute kid whose only job qualification is lighting his father on fire. Mm-hmm. Then we get a little afterward, cut to Daniel hand in hand with Allison trapped in this blasted hellscape. It's a really cool looking hellscape because I think that they wanted to make sure that this is not any place on Earth. Like, there's these mountains that are just sort of like sharp angles, acute angles pointing up.
Yeah, like no plant life, just like washed out. Like the light is sort of
there's roiling clouds
harsh.
Above, gray light. They're hand in hand, and they look up in the sky above them, and the clouds kind of part, and they see this gigantic floating black pyramid.
Yes.
Cut to credits. Hard cut to credits. And that's the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, the action flows really quickly. I was surprised just how few notes I had on the plot, because it goes very fast from one thing to another. Chews through that hour and a half really quick.
Yeah.
The one thing that was brought up is my wife asked, like, I'm surprised they never did a sequel, and I don't think that they ever. But I don't think they ever planned on doing a sequel. I think that part of the problem with horror sequels is that you're scared of the unknown.
Yeah.
And over the course of a horror film, you start to explain things, and so by the end of it, what was unknown, what was scary, is no longer scary because it's been defeated, and that makes sense. But then if you go into a sequel, now you have to explain even more, and now it's even less scary.
But also, practically speaking, this wasn't a studio production. It was indie.
Right.
And it made some money, but it wasn't the big hit that would drive a sequel. It became a cult classic almost immediately.
Right. It's
Like,
good
everybody
for
that
their
loves
careers
horror loves
and
this
stuff.
movie.
Right.
But I don't think it generated enough interest in mainstream.
It's not Terrifier.
No.
Unfortunately. But it's also, like, it's not a film that warrants a sequel. Like, I think if you did a sequel, you would be retreading a lot of the same ground in terms of, like, lore and exposition. There's not really more to say. There is a cult that follows these occult practices that tap into this otherworldly whatever, represented by this massive stone pyramid that exists on a parallel level of reality. You know what I mean?
And the lack of explanation for a lot of it works in its favor.
Exactly.
And yeah, to move into a sequel, you'd have to start explaining, and I don't want to know.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think it's fine how it is. You'd be either retreading the same ground or ruining things by over-explaining them.
Yeah, it is obviously, Lovecraft inspired.
Right.
And, the joke is with Lovecraft that everything is an unspeakable, unknowable, undescribable horror.
Yeah, it's so horrific that even looking at it drives you insane, so that it's completely indescribable. I can't describe it to you.
Yeah, or it's just so beyond understanding.
My favorite is that there are non-Euclidean angles that cannot be described. And he's talking about, like, architecture, like, it's not meeting at right angles, but it is somehow, and that's weird, and I don't know how else to explain it. But it drives you mad if you look at it for too long. Like, draw me a picture, buddy. Draw me a picture.
Yeah, exactly. But, to that point, I think that the weird kind of abstraction of whatever was going on works in that way. Like, you don't know.
In a way.
You don't know what they were doing in the house. You don't know what experiments he did to get to where he is now. You don't know how it functions, the mechanics of overcoming death.
Right.
You don't know what kind of power he has that he is able to keep those things from dying. Like,
in a way, there's certain elements of it that remind me of, Phantasm.
Yes!
Because it's very kind of the surrealness. You're pushing the surrealness angle because you've essentially got a supernatural force that can change the laws of reality as we know them. And it's almost dreamlike in that way. But, and so, I mean, Phantasm had 6 sequels last time I checked. Something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, one pretty recently, Ravager, was just a few years ago.
Which is 5 or 6, I'm not sure. Or possibly 7, I don't know, I don't keep track. But, like, I think what you could do, I don't see a direct sequel to The Void, but what you could do is other things, in a Lovecraft kind of way, other things in that universe of, like, this is one of those kind of dark cosmic forces. There are other things other than the Black Pyramid out there, that affects stuff.
Well, I mean, Stuart Gordon already did. He did Reanimator.
Right.
And I know they did a sequel to Reanimator, but he also did From Beyond, which is clearly the same kind of thing. You could believe From Beyond and Reanimator in the same world. The actors are playing different people, but still.
That's fine.
It's that kind of in the vein of.
As it were, in the vein. I can't believe you went ass first into that.
I didn't even mean to.
You know who wouldn't have done that? Daniel's dad.
Yeah, Daniel's dad would have fucking nailed that.
But yeah, no, it's I don't think that it needs a sequel. I would like to see more. I do like to see more from the filmmakers. Like I said, Psycho Goreman was a fun, insane, chaotic ride.
Oh yeah, it was wild.
Definitely see the family lines there as far as physical effects go. My phone started listening to me randomly for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I just think that there is more. I love the whole Lovecraftian mythos, and I think there's more weird, reality-altering, dark god shit that you could pull out of that.
Yeah, I just want more and more of that.
Yes. More different
and on my list of
creatures.
things that I want to cover on this podcast are several things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Underwater is a recent example of a really good one.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever watch Underwater?
I don't think I have. I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's on my list.
I'll put it on
we
the
got to
list.
get around
Yeah.
to it. It's a black, and it starts like in the first 5 minutes. The action starts and just doesn't stop. It just goes.
Cool,
it's great.
Cool.
And I love an underwater, like trapped underwater movie.
It's an easy, because I mean, like that's the trick with a lot of horror films is kind of how do you get people isolated, especially in this day and age where we have devices and everything. Being underwater is a good one. This whole thing of like the rural community with the hospital that's halfway abandoned, and then suddenly the radios don't work. And is that a physical thing? Is it a some kind of magical effect that so the thing is warping reality in some way? It's not really important. Just know that there's no calling for help. You know.
Yeah, or an Arctic research station.
Or an Arctic research station on the on the edge of the world. There's lots of different ways to do it, and it's nice to see somebody do something creative and interesting, and pull it off, and not in a way that feels forced, where it's like, okay, we're here, and there's no turning back. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to see it organically, kind of, or feel organic at least. And the Void Man pulled that off.
It helps that all the effects are practical. I mean,
absolutely.
It's a real visceral movie. The gore is on point.
Absolutely. And a lot of it is it's just well done. It's I think that first kind of moment of strangeness when Beverly murders Cliff is impactful.
It catches you off guard.
It catches you off guard, and you're just as shocked, I think, as Daniel is by the intensity of everything, because there's no warm up for it. It's going straight into like I've peeled my face off and I'm letting my real face out. The whole thing of it that's a lot.
And it like this happened while all this other stuff was like going on, you know?
Yeah, he was just talking to like a pregnant teen about her grandfather, about how things are going and stuff, and then suddenly he's got to shoot somebody that he's known for probably his whole damn life.
And you don't know what the doctor did to her, what she's being affected by. Is she a collateral damage thing, or did he do an experiment or something like...
Right, what is it about tonight that suddenly all this shit is going down? Did
he directly affect her, or is she just...
She's just like the cast off radiation, like she's just a casualty of it all. Yeah, you really don't know. It's, and like I said, like, I think there is an argument to be made that it's just like, something is happening... And people are just being affected by just being near it, because certainly that's what happens to Daniel when he starts having visions and stuff.
Yeah. It's like the more the doctor messed with this stuff, the more he, like, pulled the dark energy in or whatever.
Yeah.
And it starts kind of doing its own thing in the hospital.
Yeah, it's kind of just rattling its cage.
Yeah.
Shaking up reality. I also just love the idea of... like simple effects stuff like that, of like, oh, that shouldn't be that way. Like, it reminds me of Grave Encounters, where there's a part in Grave Encounters where they're like, okay, which is, found footage, ghost hunters checking out a supposedly haunted location, turns out to be very haunted, and they decide, screw this, we're getting out of here. They open the front doors, and there's more corridor in front of them. And it turns out that the building itself is warping its reality to keep them trapped inside. But that kind of thing of like reality warping and like there truly is no escape. Because there's always this thing in the back of your mind of like, okay, there are cultists surrounding the place. We're in the middle of nowhere, but like I could try to get out. You know what I mean? Like I could try to find my way through. All I have to do is really take out the ones that are right in front of me and keep running.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about when he was in the car, and I was like, why didn't he just like start hitting people with the car? Just ram your way out.
His dad would have done that, but he was kind of a hot dog like that, because, what happens if one gets stuck in the wheel well, and now, you've pissed them off and you're surrounded. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do?
His dad would have just John Wicked through all of those cultists.
Daniel Sr. Daniel Officer Sr. was a legend. I like to think that he's not like dead. Like they're talking about him, like he would have done this. Like he's just retired. He's like It's like 57. Like he retired early.
I like to think that he wasn't even a cop. He just like ran a grocery store, but he was just so fucking
Just
good at
so
it.
badass.
Like just the best fucking grocer you ever saw.
Nobody stole apples from him. You could not have stolen an apple. He was sharp as a tack.
You could tell by the way he stocked shelves that he could manage a crisis.
Yeah, yeah. And when he was a young man, when he was 19, he swam the English Channel.
Yes.
Yeah, unassisted. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened, and he's great. That's if there's only one takeaway from this, it's that Daniel's dad is the man, and Daniel is a pale shadow of his father.
An embarrassment, really.
Embarrassment. Trapped by the Black Pyramid, which is also his dad's legacy.
Yeah.
And metaphorically. I think that's the metaphor that we're supposed to take away. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, Daniel failed so hard that he had to leave this plane of existence.
He actually did. Like, he doesn't even come close to saving Allison.
Yeah,
Not even
they
a
just
little bit.
both end up on the other side.
He's out, like, hot dogging, looking for action, trying to get a gun when she's kidnapped, and she is just effed from the moment she's taken. The Void. Great film. Must see.
Oh, so much fun.
Tremendous fun. And
just
real roller coaster pace-wise.
And it's just great that there are still small movies like this.
And the indie scene is where it's at. The indie scene is where it's at. I have this conversation with people about movies all the time where it's like, in our time of the mid-2020s, but it goes back further than that, remakes and sequels are as far as the eye can see.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, everything is an adaptation or a remake or a sequel, and original properties are so few and far between. But the one place that they do happen is in horror.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that the original stuff, if you really look at it, I don't think there's less of it now than there used to be.
Yeah.
I just think that the market's so swamped and what's mainstream.
Right.
And it's the same with music. Like, there's still amazing, like, rock bands out there.
Sure.
There's really great, pretty recent stuff. Like, there's, the Kills are out there, and the Chats, and Queens of the Stone Age is still touring, and shit like that. But what dominates, what makes the most money is the manufactured stuff, The safe stuff that's designed in a lab to make you dance. And it's the same thing with all the movies now, too. The big budget ones.
Right.
But technology has gotten to a point, and it's been there for a little while, that, you can... Your fucking iPhone is a better camera than
and you can
Troma had for 30 years.
And you can,
like...
You can crank stuff out and get it out. I just feel like the horror community in particular, they're more willing to embrace indie works.
Absolutely.
They're not as, they're not as driven by necessarily like star power or recognizable names.
No.
If you've got a premise that'll capture people's attention and you're doing a halfway decent job, people will flock to it.
Yeah. Well, and horror's always had that, punk rock appreciation of DIY.
Right.
Like I made it myself.
Right.
I went out with my friends and I made this thing. And I didn't need anybody else. I figured it out. I took 3 film students and I went out to the woods in Massachusetts with them. Yeah.
And I
exactly.
made them suffer for a week. And here's a movie about it.
Well, I mean, you brought up Terrifier. It's probably the one that's held up most these days. Because it was, 50,000 something for the first movie?
Yeah.
And then they got a couple 100,000 for the second, and then, more than that for the third.
Yeah. And it's still proudly independent, and it's doing a great job.
Yeah, but honestly, for the amount of money they spent on the first one, you could not turn out that same product in the 90s. Because you couldn't shoot digital. That's the main thing.
Right.
And
film was very expensive.
Yeah,
just to shoot
and time-consuming.
Yeah.
And you can do 1 million takes, and it's all on an SD card. You can put a terabyte on a potato chip now. It's ridiculous.
It's a great time to be a filmmaker. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be a horror fan, honestly.
It is. Well, and the horror low-budget thing, horror's always been what filled the shelves. And it used to be in video stores, and now it's streaming. I mean, if you go on Amazon Prime and type in horror, you'll never get through the list.
It's true.
But a huge amount of that is garbage.
Yeah, And so even some of the garbage though is at least fun to watch.
Yeah, I say garbage, but I do sort of say it lovingly because these people went out and made something.
Right.
Like they did the thing.
But there is.
I've always wanted to do and haven't done, so they've done more than I have.
That's true. That's true.
You know,
it's hard to fault them when as a professional appreciator.
Yeah, I mean, as a dick, I'll watch those movies and be like, I could have done better. But I haven't.
But you haven't.
So, I haven't done better. So, I just think that the ability to pick up a DSLR and shoot a movie that fucking, we just talk about him all the time, Mike Flanagan. His very first movie, Absentia.
Yes.
He shot it on a Canon 5D. He shot it on a camera that you could buy on eBay for $400 right now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's a really good movie.
It's a very good movie. Like it's yeah. As is The Void.
The Void.
Tremendous film. Can't say enough good about it. Hopefully we see more from the filmmakers in the future. Just do. I mean, like their effects are pretty great. Can't complain about that. But hopefully we see, because it's a pretty good script and a pretty good film, I think.
It is. And I mean, the other great thing about indie horror these days is that they're going more and more towards practical effects. Like practical is coming back.
Yes.
And
it warms my cockles. My cockles.
I just want to say, for everybody that was in the Industrial Design Technology program at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh in the late 90s.
Yes.
Fuck you, Mr. Pence. Fuck you and your three-legged dog Cerberus.
He's definitely going to be listening.
If anybody that knows what I'm talking about ever hears this podcast, please shoot us an email.
Yes. Like, subscribe, follow.
What? No, whatever. Yeah. We'll figure out how to tell people what our email is one of these days.
Work that into the conversation. The whole.
Yeah.
This is a podcast.
In the Veins podcast at Gmail.
Yes. Classic us.
We don't have t-shirts for this podcast yet, but if you email me and you actually know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say fuck you, Mr. Pence, and your three-legged dog Cerberus, I don't know. Tell me your favorite band and I'll get you a t-shirt.
Oh my gosh. I think we may have done it. I think
so.
We've done the Void. For my money, truly a modern classic. It definitely, you feel the. It was introduced to me as the movie that combines all the best parts of John Carpenter's 80s movies. And
yes.
I think it does manage to do quite a bit.
It does. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it's sort of The Thing and I guess a little bit of Assault on Precinct 13 as far as the
location and stuff.
The location, the trapped in the building.
Yeah. Also, I think Prince of Darkness.
Of course, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cosmic Horror of Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Obviously, In the Mouth of Madness, just because the Lovecraftian cosmic horror of it. All right, no notes. It's great. It's a tremendous movie. Everybody should see it.
It is. And everybody should. And it is, I think it's free on Prime and maybe Tubi and Peacock. Like it's on a lot of platforms for free right now.
Yeah, because it's an indie. Gotta love it. All right.
Well, then I guess we should sign off.
Absolutely.
And, next time we're doing Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Rise of Leslie Vernon. One of my favorites, probably the first movie that started me looking at horror in a meta way.
Yeah.
And start dissecting,
Yeah.
It dissects the specifically the slasher genre.
Yeah, and I think it does it better than Scream.
Definitely.
I think Scream being meta was a gimmick.
I think Scream was trying to poke fun at the idea.
Yeah, Scream was kind of a hey, look how cool we are. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I love Scream. I don't mean that to be... But the tone of Scream is sort of a, hey, this is the joke.
90s.
And
it's very 90s.
Yeah.
And to its
but Behind the Mask is...
Loving
it's
to a fault.
It's a real dissection of the genre.
Yes. In a very direct way. That I think even like Cabin in the Woods doesn't quite get to.
No, I don't think it does. I think that also... and again...
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Daniel's dad would know to save that for the podcast.
Ah, fuck, you're right.
It's gonna be
All right.
it's gonna be a good one. We're gonna do Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I can't wait. The first the end credits. That was the first time I ever heard.
Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer, which is ridiculous.
Ah,
I'm a
so
huge
good.
Talking Heads fan. I don't know why it
Qu'est-ce
took
que
me so
c'est?
long. Tremendous. I can't wait.
All right.
All right. See you next time.
See you next time, Joe.
There's nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine.
You'd be surprised at the things you find when you go looking.
God, it knows I'm here.
Clear your minds. It knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
Plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated Book of the Dead.
You're gonna die up there.
I've got to return some videotapes.